Hi, my name is David C. Jones, and once again, I am doing my rankings for the Best Picture nominees of 2022. Well, it's not my Best Picture nominees for 2022 again. I have done previous Oscars before, and now I'm doing the 2022 ones. You get what I mean. And this year there are 10. Sometimes there are 9 or 8, but they have the ability to do 10, and they said, oh, we're going to do all 10 this year. So this is my ranking of them. I saw them all in a movie theater, which is the way they were meant to be seen. And here is my criteria for the ranking, in case you're wondering how I came to these decisions, and in case you want to argue with me. And I welcome that. Number one ranking is it cinematic? Did it have to be seen in a movie theater? Could it have been seen in television while you on television while your cat was distracting you or something, while you were getting up to get snacks? Or did you have to sit in a movie theater and enjoy it? Was it cinematic? Did it wash over you and take you into a world? Number 2, was it a story that I'd never seen before? Did you transport me into a world that I had yet to know? Number 3, was I emotionally engaged? Did I laugh? Was I shocked? Was I angry? Did I cry? Did I feel something while watching the film? And number 1, would I want to see this movie again? Was it so good that I just want to dive back into that world again and experience it one more time? So with that in mind, here are my rankings for the Best Picture nominees, all 10 of them. Number 10! Number 10 is Elvis by Baz Luhrmann. This film was so hyperactive and at the same time so boring for me. Austin Butler did an amazing job, sure. He has amazing eyelashes. I started to notice them as the movie was going along. But there was nothing in the story that we hadn't already heard about Elvis. For me, I knew about how he got screwed over by his manager, and I didn't think it was very interestingly told. I think that might be one of the reasons why there were so many hypercuts and stuff, was to try to distract us from it. Tom Hanks was wonderful too, but like when you compare it to like a movie like Love and Mercy, which came out about 10 years ago, that was a Beach Boys movie, the Brian Wilson movie. That one was so fascinating and so interesting, and also uniquely told because 2 different actors played Brian Wilson. So I just thought Elvis was boring. Number 9, Avatar: The Way of Water. Now, I didn't like the first Avatar. Sorry, but I know it was the most popular film in the world ever. But I found it really bad, boring script-wise, and I was not going to go see the sequel, even when people go, oh, the sequel's way better. Wasn't going to fall for that again. Winter Soldier. So I was forced to go, though, because it got nominated for Best Picture of the Year. So I went, and yeah, it's the same problems as the first one, only more so. The script is so hackneyed, it's so obvious, it's so cliched, it's so overstated. Stuff is repeated over and over again, and stuff happens randomly. Like the daughter gets these powers where she could shoot bubbles, and there's no explanation why she could do that or where that came from. It just became convenient, the plot. The fact that the kid can suddenly talk to this whale creature by just looking in its eyes, but we don't get how did he develop this ability. He's never seen these animals before, yet they can communicate fluidly. There was just too many contrivances that made it work. The only reason it's a little bit above Elvis for me is the fact that the action sequences in the third act were effectively done, and I was at times in the theater going, oh, 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 as I was watching it. So I was like, well, okay, you emotionally got me involved in the fight sequence, even though I kind of knew the good guys were going to win. So yeah, so Avatar, you made it to number 9. Now, every other film on this list I really, really liked. Those 2 I didn't. Number 8, All Quiet on the Western Front. This is a wonderfully made film. Beautiful film. The lead actor, Felix Kramer, I think his name is. Kramer is amazing. But The reason why it's so low is if you're talking about what are the themes of the film is saying, did you know war is hell? Because once again, we've seen another war film where young men in the prime of their life are idealistic and full of hope and vigor as they go into war, and then slowly they get turned into killing machines and they're shell shocked and horrified by what's happening, and a lot of them end up dead by the end of the film. And it's like we've seen this in 1917, Hacksaw Ridge, Platoon. Like we see this story over and over again, and it makes me think if art has a way of changing the world, then shouldn't all these films about the horrors of war have made it so that there's no more war? So yeah, it's a well-made film, but I was just like, ugh, whatever. Where am I? 7, Women Talking. This was Sarah Polley's film. Wonderful female-led cast and all. It was almost pretty much, well, there's one guy. But just a lovely, lovely cast. Ben Winslow is the guy. He's so good. All of the women are amazing. Judith Ivey. Frances McDermott looked like she only had a weekend free to make the film. Her scenes are very short and she's not in it a lot. She's like, yeah, sure, I'll come in, but I only have a weekend. Yeah, and it's based on a true story, but it's a non-true reaction to the true story. It's based on a book, and yeah, it was interesting. My friend who I took did not like it. She's a woman, and she didn't care for it at all. It's just a bunch. It was truth in advertising. It's just a bunch of women talking. Number 6, Top Gun Maverick. I had such a good time at this film. I did not see the first Top Gun. I just heard about it through cultural osmosis. That's how I learned about the film, and I feel like I know everything about the film. And I went to this one more out of curiosity than anything. And I thought it was great. I thought Tom Cruise was great. He was quite moving. He surprised me at the depth of his performance. We keep forgetting that he's such a good actor. That's the problem when you're that handsome, I guess. People go, what a hack. And then you watch him and you go, oh, actually, he's really good. The only thing that's the strike against it is the third act. It was completely predictable. It was like well executed, but although a little derivative of Star Wars. There's no surprises in Act 3. You kind of go, okay, then all this stuff's happening. So I really enjoyed it though. Top Gun Maverick, good film. Number 5. Now, the top 5 kept jostling in position as I saw them. They kept moving. So number 5 is The Fablemans by Steven Spielberg and Tony Kushner. And you can really see Tony Kushner's influence on the writing because there is some very nuanced writing in this. I just love the sequence with the young man who starred in the film that the other young man filmed. I love that scene between the two of them. And also Michelle Williams is just stunning. The whole cast is stunning. I cried a lot during that film. And interesting enough, it stars Paul Dano, who was in Love and Mercy, that film that I mentioned earlier about the Beach Boys. He was one of the 2 people who played Brian Wilson. But yeah, The Fablemans was really, really great. I loved it a lot. And when I saw it, I went, oh, this is going to win Best Picture. But then I saw the other films. Number 4, The Banshees of Inisherin. Colin Farrell broke my heart. Barry Cogan, I think is how you say his name, also ripped my heart out. This film was so funny and so dark, and the donkey was amazing. Brendan Gleeson was amazing. My friend who I took hated it, so I should stop taking friends to movies. But yeah, I found, and it was one of those films because I'm not super smart. When I read up more on the methods behind it, I really, really liked it even more. If you don't know Martin McDonagh's films, you might be taken aback by some of the goriness that happens in it. But if you've seen his other films, like Three Billboards or In Bruges, then you know he's got a real dark sense of humor, and there will be blood. So that might take you a bit by surprise if you don't know that about that writer and that filmmaker. Number 3, Triangle of Sadness. I had so much fun at Triangle of Sadness. Now, to be fair, I had comps to go to a couple different film festival films, and I only picked that one because of the young actor, the male actor, is shirtless on the poster, and I went, "Oh, hello, what's this film?" So I went. I knew nothing about it, and I had such a good time. It is gross. It is funny. It is shocking. It is terrifying. And the themes of it are those same ones that are sort of explored in Parasite, only whereas Parasite was a drama that had some really funny moments, Triangle of Sadness is an outrageously gross comedy with some heavy dramatic moments, but the same similar themes about the rich versus the poor. I really recommend, though, you don't see the trailer. I did not see the trailer, and I saw the film, and I just was shocked by everything that happened. But the trailer gives it all away. So don't watch the trailer, but go see Triangle of Sadness. If you want to see the world's grossest puking scene, it's more gross than the meaning of life puking scene. Triangle of Sadness was just delicious. Now, number 2 and number 1 kept changing for me, but I finally settled on number 2, Tar. This film gripped me from the beginning. Cate Blanchett's character is stunning. It's crafted so well. And this is another film where I watched some video essays afterwards, and I was like, oh my goodness, I like this film even more now. This is a film that explores cancel culture, explores status between people in positions of power over people who don't have positions of power. It was an interesting looking into the world of classical music, and every shot was like a photograph that you'd want to frame. And I saw this, someone else pointed this out to me. There's 2 scenes where there are ghosts in the scene. You have to watch it and watch for the ghosts that appear, because it's all about this woman's mind that's starting to unravel. Her conscience is catching up with her, and it does, and it's fantastic. So that, of course, by process of elimination, leaves number 1, Everything Everywhere All at Once. This film just exploded my heart, exploded my eyes, exploded my soul. I had so much fun. It was so audacious. Some of the stuff, like sticking the things up the butt, the hot dog finger hands, everything. The talking rocks, or they weren't talking, the rocks, everything about it. Stephanie Hsu's performance was amazing. Michelle Yeoh, who I have been in love with since she was in the James Bond film Tomorrow Never Dies. The whole cast was amazing. Jamie Lee Curtis looked like she was having the time of her life. Everything Everywhere All at Once is the front runner for the Best Picture winner, and I think it totally deserves it because it makes you laugh, it shocks you with some of the stuff, and then ultimately makes you cry. And my queer little heart also loved that it was also a very queer story. So there you go. That's my ranking of the top 10 Best Picture nominees in the order in which I do them. Number 10, Elvis. Number 9, Avatar, The Way of Water. Number 8, All Quiet on the Western Front. Number 7, Women Talking. Number 6, Top Gun Maverick. Number 5, The Fable Men. Number 4, Banshees of Inisherin. Number 3, Triangle of Sadness. Number 2, Tar. And number 1, Everything Everywhere All at Once. So I hope you saw all 10 as well. I hope you saw them in the movie theater, and I would like to know how you would rank them. So put them below or call me up. Just call me. Let me know what you thought. Okay, thanks. Bye.